So composting is really a really great thing to do because especially if you're eating lots of fruits and vegetables, you make a lot of fruits and vegetable scraps and it just doesn't make sense to throw them away, send them to the dump. It makes more sense to bury them in your yard and make your yard more fertile. So, so here's some easy ways to compost. Any time you want to plant something somewhere. So eventually, maybe you're not going to do it now, but eventually you will. Like a tree, or maybe you have a garden bed that you're going to plant somewhere. That's a perfect area to do a compost pile, and you could do it different ways. You could dig it, dig down a little ways, put some food scraps, cover it with a little dirt, more food scraps, cover it with a little dirt. You could use leaves and other things that you collect around your yard in with the food scraps to make it even compost even faster and make it even more fertile. So you can do that, and then eventually that area will be filled with food scraps and whatnot, and you're ready to plant your garden bed, and you top it with some compost or soil that you get from wherever, and there you go. So here's an example right here. This is a brand new garden bed I'm starting. I'm digging up a little bit of dirt, pouring food scraps, cover it with the dirt and whatnot. And when that whole thing is been filled and I don't have any more space, I'll cover it with, good soil on the top, plant my plants, and that the food scraps and whatnot underneath are just going to be food for worms and other beneficial microorganisms and all kinds of stuff. That's just going to improve the quality of my soil. Plus, I'm not throwing out my food scraps, I'm composting. But, you end up running out of room, right? So I end up doing it in lots of different places. I've done it in this corner where I don't have anything growing. Dug down, did the same method I talked about before, but in this area I topped it with leaves because I'm not planting anything there right now. Another area that I did composting is back here. I built it's kind of hard to see. It's kind of hard to see because it's totally a bunch of huge zucchini plant grew out of it. So it's basically covered by this gigantic volunteer zucchini plant. But I built up some cinder blocks and then just piled food scraps and yard waste and whatnot. Until it got so high that it was like, it's too high. Covered it up with soil, and then I'm letting it rest. And what I'm going to do there is I'm going to continue to pile up like dry yard waste, like leaves and dried leaves and branches and whatnot, stuff that's cut up small, maybe even stuff that's not even so small, like large sticks. I pile it up there, and I'm going to plant a banana tree out of that, because bananas love to grow in deep mulch. So I think it's going to work out really well over there. We'll see. I'll definitely keep you updated on that. But another way to compost, we used to have a tumbler, and those are great for space efficiency. It just, I didn't like it. It wasn't for me. I prefer to do it straight in the yard. It just makes more sense, because then you tumble it and then you have to put it somewhere. It's like, well, why not just build your compost piles in your yard, and it makes it so much more simple. The layering effect, I've done the lasagna gardening method. It works really awesome. I've grown in straw bales. It doesn't work awesome, but it works too. There's so many ways to compost in your yard, even just a regular yard, in a house. You don't have to have acreage. I've lived here for 6 years, and I have not run out of room yet. There's always places that need more fertility, that I'm maybe planning on planting a plant or something, or, there's always somewhere that could use a little bit of love. So I don't throw away a whole lot of food scraps. me to compost more too. And I gotta find out why my doggy is not happy.